Hey everybody, today I'm here with Sarah, one of our trainers, and we're gonna bust some myths about cardio. So I know you often get lots of questions about cardio, and sometimes lots of, especially ladies, their only primary source of exercise is cardio.
Totally. So I get that, especially when you're new to the gym can totally be an intimidating place. So a starting place and a way to ease into it for a lot of people, and yes, a lot of women especially, is with cardio. They're pretty straightforward. To look at a cardio machine, you run or walk on a treadmill, you kind of know that. So you walk into a gym and you have something that you recognize and you feel comfortable doing, and you've got some kind of plan. Yeah. You know what you're going to do when you get there. The thing though is that this kind of creates the cardio bunny, if you've heard the term, where it's the only thing you know how to do at the gym, or the only thing you feel comfortable doing at the gym, and day in and day out you're going and just slogging it out on a treadmill or slogging it out on an elliptical, and just maybe even I've heard crazy stories of people doing cardio for like 2 hours on one piece of equipment. So there's a couple things to bear in mind there. One, at the very base foundation, if you want to go through the definition of repetitive stress, it's anything you do for more than 15 minutes. So if you're on a treadmill for 45 minutes, you've like tripled your repetitive stress that you've put on your body just going through that particular motion. So there are definitely many advantages to expanding your repertoire and branching out and not only doing cardio when you come to the gym.
Yeah, or just the traditional cardio, like what you mentioned, the treadmills, step mills typically, ellipticals. So you can still get cardio in with resistance training and stuff.
Exactly.
So lots of the people that come to us often, they're doing cardio, and when we ask why, I'm not saying it's necessarily absolutely terrible, but their main goal is to lose weight typically, right? So they're doing lots and lots of cardio and burning through it, and maybe they get some initial weight loss goals, which is wicked, because probably they just don't move enough in the day.
Yeah.
Typically, the average office worker, when we track their steps through like a Fitbit or a smartwatch of some sort, like Apple, they get like 4,000 steps in a day on a good day for an office worker, which is really terrible.
Yeah, it's not that many steps.
So I would say like try to aim for like 10,000 steps a day. So then if you took it from 4,000, and of course if you went onto the treadmill, any other source of cardio equipment, and brought it up to 10,000 steps in the day, that's amazing, and then that's why you start to see some weight loss, but then instantly they plateau, they don't get anything further, and they're like, wow, I've been doing this for a year, maybe 2 years. We've trained people even for competitions, where we told them to do less cardio.
It's true.
So we took off, there's one scenario for, there was a client of ours, 50 years old, and she was doing cardio every single day, 7 days a week, and then doing yoga, and kind of doing the weights, but didn't really know, and wanted to really change her looks, but hasn't changed in years, and was so shocked about, I'm putting in so much effort, why is nothing changing? It's so easy for everybody else. Actually took her off the cardio for what she was actually doing, the steady state cardio, just going for like walks or jogs for hours. Changed it to 3 times a week of just HIIT training, so high intensity interval training. But she was only doing like 3 sprints a day, so she would go like her all out max 15 seconds and then walk for a minute, all out max, walk. So only 3 times for that to start, and then resistance training 3 times a week. So we saved her like a couple hours a day in time, and then just replaced it with resistance training.
HIIT's a really fantastic way to save time with your cardio, and it's great in terms of fat loss. It's really going to rev up your metabolism. You're going to kick your own butt fast, so you don't need to be on the treadmill for 45 minutes or an hour. If you're doing HIIT, you can get a lot done in 10 minutes even. And like David was starting to talk about, resistance training is another really great piece of your weight loss puzzle. I think people are sometimes often scared to start lifting weights in the gym when they're trying to lose weight, because they'll see like the big strong guys at the gym lifting really heavy weights, and those guys are big, and when you're trying to lose weight, you don't necessarily want to get bigger. But the myth part that kind of comes into this is there's so many myths around muscle building for one, and guys, that's really hard. It's like a lot of work. So unless that's your specific goal, you don't really have to worry about that happening.
Don't stress. Every guy would be walking around super jacked. We all want to look like Arnold. If it was that easy, that's all of us.
Everybody would look like that. So it's not that easy. But there are so many benefits that you're going to get from having a resistance component to your training program. First of all, when you do have a little bit of muscle on your frame, muscle burns more calories than fat. So what I'm talking about here is composition change. So yeah, you're losing fat, and while you're maybe gaining muscle, you might see the number on the scale stay the same or even maybe creep up a tiny little bit. But in that particular instance, it's a good change, because that means that you're getting more benefit from your workout for all the hours of the day when you're not actually at the gym. So when you're just doing cardio, sure, you might see that initial weight loss that David was talking about, but you're not going to get the benefit of having some muscle tone, having some muscle strength, having some muscle definition, and also the benefit to your metabolism and your daily calorie burn.
Yeah.
So that's another really great aspect of resistance
That's
training.
a wicked point that you just mentioned, Sarah, because most people then, if you're doing cardio only, you're stuck
Yeah.
on cardio only, and if you stop for a week, then you start gaining weight. So you're burning calories right then and there as you're doing your cardio, which is wicked. It helps towards your daily goal.
Totally.
But if you stopped and took a vacation, then you're going to put on some weight. Whereas resistance training, at the end of the day, you're tearing apart the muscle, so it has to get stronger.
Yeah.
It has to get tighter. And then your metabolism slowly increases. So let's just use a random number. Let's say your calorie goal, or your metabolism is 2,000 calories a day. Maybe at the end of that year, maybe it's 2,300, maybe it's 2,500. It's not a massive increase, but it is increasing. It's not decreasing. Whereas the other way, if you're just only doing cardio, since we stopped playing, we stopped moving around, since we started going to school, then we got into our job, our bodies are smart. That knows that muscle is a high energy upkeep, so it kills it off. So every year that you're not stimulating that muscle through a sport, through resistance training, it's literally killing it off. And that's why lots of people we see have kind of joint pain, because they're just doing repetitive motions, maybe cardio or something over and over again, and they have no muscle around the joints anywhere.
Yeah, especially if you play sports recreationally as well. I have a lot of clients who play soccer or tennis, and inevitably they'll come to me as a new client and say, I love playing soccer, I love playing tennis, but geez, I'm experiencing a lot of elbow pain or knee pain or ankle pain or whatever it might be, while they're playing the sport that they love to do. And it's like David says, as we get older, we don't have the same kind of physical activity levels that we did when we were younger, and our bodies don't quite bounce back the way that they used to when we were 10 years old. But what's going to happen when you start resistance training is muscles insert around joints. You're going to start to tighten up those muscles, strengthen those muscles, and essentially what you're doing is kind of creating your body's own natural cushioning system. So the joint pain that you're experiencing is going to be reduced. So many of my clients have come to me and they report pain in the beginning when we start, and they're always so surprised that once they've done some resistance training for a little while, their pain goes away. So many people think, oh my God, the gym is hard, it's gonna hurt more if I already have pain, and that's not necessarily the case at all.
No, and the other point is, it's never too late.
Yeah.
So our oldest client at TurnFit is 90 years old, plays hockey and plays golf.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. I've seen in both case scenarios where people maybe at the age of 75 are on the extreme and they let go of their health and they're in walkers or wheelchairs. I've seen the other side where I have 75-year-olds and they can bust out 10 pull-ups and they're concerned about how their arms look in that dress when they're going out for the evening. So you make the choice, you have all the control. We're going to sign off here because Sarah has to go to our next victim of the day.
Off to train another client.
But if you have questions, we're going to keep doing live videos like this, but some more myths, or if you have questions out there, ask them below. And our journey with you is to create a happier and healthier you. All right, cheers everybody.
Bye guys.